Hey everyone, this is Courtney Barnum, Rett U Coach, with this week's Rett U How To. This week we're going to be talking about how to pair the best yes with the yes symbol. What is the best yes? So what we are talking about when we say look for your loved one or child or student's best yes is how are they letting you know that they are giving you an affirmative answer. There are going to be different ways for everyone. It may be that they're looking at you or they're moving their head in your direction. Their eyes might move to where you are, or their eyes may look at what they want. They may move their body towards what they want. It really all depends on the actual student. I have worked with a young man who his eyes were the only thing he could move. So his eyes came to the left when he was letting me know that yes, that was what he wanted. I've worked with other people, my sister, who would look directly at me to let me know that that was what she was wanting. So you have to just really kind of start watching and looking and seeing what your loved one is letting you know for yes. In this video, actually, I'm just starting out with this client and I'm trying to see what her yes is. I was kind of just doing some, calm conversation with her and then watched her as we continued conversing with her grandparents and her mom and her caregiver after school to see if she was doing the same thing that I noticed in our conversation, which is looking at me with them when she was answering affirmatively, and it was.
Yes, no, ask me yes, no questions.
Okay.
At school.
Yes, you're going to be at school, and I'm going to go to school with you. I'm going to go to school with you.
Nothing's wrong, baby. We're just going to teach them. They need to learn your stuff.
Yes, no.
So why we want to pair the best yes with the symbol is very simple. We want to help those who may not know our student or loved one to understand their answer. It's going to be the most helpful way for their team. So what we want to do is think about this. If you have somebody who is maybe working with your child or your loved one and they don't know them as well, so they may not know that when they look at you, that's their yes, then your child is going to become frustrated if she or he is not being listened to. I know that happened a lot with my sister. People who worked with her didn't realize that her looking at you was her yes, and she's like, I remember coming in one time and the person wasn't listening to her, for lack of a better word. She was looking at them saying yes, she wanted something to drink, and they kept giving her more food. And she was getting so upset, and I walked in and she gave me this exasperated look when I walked in like, sis, they're not listening. So we don't want that for our kids. We don't want that for our loved ones. We want to make sure that everybody who's working with them understands their answer and understand their communication. So how do we pair it to the yes symbol? So what we want to do, the very first thing we always want to do is determine what our loved one's best yes is. Watch them. Find some of their most favorite activities. For my sister, it was always M&Ms. I knew if I wanted to see what her yes was, all I had to do was ask for M&Ms if she wanted M&Ms. Because if she didn't want M&Ms, she was really, really sick. So I would watch what she would do. But find some things that are your child's favorite thing to do, whether it be a book or a movie or a favorite food or, a favorite sibling or friend that she or he wants to interact with, and see what they do when you ask them if you want to see them. If it is a student, ask their families what they see. And if the families are not sure either, you guys need to work together as a team to determine that best yes. So what you do once you come together as a team and decide that this is what you guys are seeing as their best yes, you're going to begin by acknowledging that action as their yes. So every time they look at you, if that's what you've determined their best yes is, you're going to say, oh, I love how you're letting me know yes by looking at me. Thank you so much. I love how you let me know that yes, that you wanted this movie by looking at me. Thank you. Because that's going to show them, oh, wait a second, they're listening to me. So once you have that established, you're going to start using this symbol, the yes symbol, and let them know that they are saying yes, which we'll show you in the next video.
Need an I-J-K-L-M-N. Yes. Yes. I-J-K. Yes. Do I need an I? No. Do I need a J? No. Do I need a K? K? Yes. I think.
So in that video, what you're seeing is I'm just starting out with showing her the yes and no and where it is on the flip books. What we're going to see in the next video is us actually, I'm going to pretend like I have a student with me, and you guys are going to see how we would pair it with the yes symbol and what kind of language we would use as well.
All right, guys, what I want to do really quick is give you a quick demonstration of how we are going to actually pair the language we use, how we're going to pair our yes, no with our symbols for yes, no. So as you can see, I use my board with my yes and no. Susan and I both always put our yes on the left-hand side. So you always want to have your yes on the left-hand side. There will be times that you have some kiddos or students or loved ones who do go to the right, but we've found that most of our kids tend to go to the left, so we always have our yes on the left-hand side. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, we've got our sign, I'm going to demonstrate it in making words example. So I'm working with my child, pretend that I have my my student with complex needs here sitting next to me, and I'm going to say, okay, we're going to spell we're going to spell the word "and." What is the first sound that you hear in the word "and"? And then I'm going to go ahead and put our sound up, and I'm going to say, is this the first sound that you hear in the word "and"? Yes or no? They look at me, say it's my student's way to let me know is by looking at me. So I'm going to say, oh, you're telling me, yes, that is the first sound in the word "and." Very good. You're telling me, yes, that is the first sound in the word "and." So by that way, I'm pairing the look at me with the yes symbol. Now, if they don't look or they look to the right, what we're going to do is be like, oh, you're telling me no, that is not the sound that you want. Nope, that's not it. So you want to make sure that you're really not exaggerating it, but really kind of making sure that they hear the yes and the no a couple times so that it's repetitive practice for them. Always remember that when you are working with our students with complex needs or our loved ones with complex needs, you want to give them our processing time. Some of our kids are really quick and have really quick eyes, or it might be that they're a day that they're really tired, or they've had a lot of seizures, or their apraxia is in full bloom, just really having a rough day, and it might take them a little longer. So I always tend to count to 10 and give them a few seconds, about 10 in my head, to give them a chance to answer. And I always also, you'll hear Susan and I say a lot, I'll wait for you to come back to middle. So if they're maybe off and their eyes are all over the place, I'll say to them, okay, I'll wait for you to come back to middle, and then see if we can get them to do a yes, no, because that way they're starting from a midpoint and it's a lot easier to read their eyes. I'm not gonna lie, there have been many times I've had to get into like a Mongolian contortionist position to be able to see their eyes depending on how they're sitting. So, I have seen my kids be really great with their yes and no. So make sure that you have them work on that getting back to middle, and remember to do it really calmly and not say, look, 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 look. We don't want that. We want you to say things like, I'll wait for you to come back to middle, or I'll wait, and then, just point to the middle, because that's helping and that takes the stress off of them, which then lessens their apraxia. I think that's it. If you have any questions, let us know.
So like I said, if you have any questions about this Rett U how-to, go ahead and email me at courtney@gp2c.org. If there's something that you'd like to see in the Rett U how-to, in our book club, or even in a free lesson, please let us know as well.